Okay, so check this out. We're going to take an E, C sharp minor, A, B, E, bog standard chord progression. Let's play it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's perfectly fine, perfectly adequate, but we want a little bit more. We want to get all the gigs and all the bookings. So let's now do the same chord sequence, but now I'm going to explore some extended harmony, shell voicings, and substitutions. Check this out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Believe it or not, exact same chord sequence, but two completely different interpretations. I know which guitar player I'd book for the next gig. So let's start at the beginning. What is a shell voicing? Well, in any given chord, there are two fundamental notes, a third and a seventh. The third determines the tonality, so whether a chord is major or minor, happy, sad. That one single note can express and tell you a lot about the mood. The seventh determines what type of extension the chord is going to have on it. So in other words, you can have a major seventh or a dominant seventh. Major seven, jazzy, really colourful. Dominant seventh, sort of leans more into the typical blues sound and has a sense of purpose and function. It wants to push the chord sequence forward. So by extracting them two notes from any chord, it gives you two things really. One, it allows you to focus more on the additional notes that you're going to incorporate to add extra colour and life. And two, you're not feeling as cumbersome and locked down on the fretboard because there are only two notes. To put this into full context, you could play an entire 12-bar blues by just playing these two notes. In the key of A, it'll look a little bit like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. So with all that in mind, back to the original case study at the beginning, we can start to think about how we can turn these chords into something a little bit more special and interesting. So for example, over the E major chord, I decided to turn that into an E major 7, which looks a little bit like this. Inside that voicing, I actually have the two shell notes that we've just discussed, the major 7th and the major 3rd. So over the C sharp minor chord, I decided to use a substitution where I actually took a little chromatic line to connect myself to the next chord, which will be the A. So I went from the C sharp minor up on the 4th fret like this, went down to the 3rd, then the 2nd, and then landing on the A chord. So it's bridging that gap between the two chords and creating a sense of cohesion within the chord sequence. Over the A chord, I decided to turn that into an A major 7th, then to the E chord because it was split, bridging back to the A major 7 via some more substitutions, an F sharp minor, G sharp minor, into the A major 7. Thanks to my overall fretboard knowledge and knowledge of these shell voicings, I'm able to find these inversions quite freely across my fretboard. That leads us to the B chord, which I decided to add an extension to. So we've turned this into now a B11. What that does, that extra 11 added into the extension creates a real sense of finality when we land back on the 1 chord, which is the E. The beauty of these shell voicings, extended harmonies, and substitutions is that you'll have probably heard them before. And now that you know what they are and how to use them, you can use it to add a lot more beauty and colour into your own playing style. So just to round things off, I'll play through the chord sequence a few more times and I'll start to stretch out a little bit more and incorporate a few more inversions here and there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Try swapping out your bar chords for some shell voicings, extensions and substitutions this week. Comment below with the chord sequence of your choice that you're going to try this over first and let me know how you get on. As always, please do hit the like and subscribe button and I'll catch you on the next one.